What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Sean here. Decided to do me a showcase video today. I've been watching around and seeing a lot of people in the retro gaming community starting to buy these Arcade1Up machines and mod them out. So I got a little interested and decided to do the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead, showcase you what I did, discuss the process, see how maybe you wanna go about doing yours. So sit back, relax, and we're gonna get into it.
Drink from my sunshine, sip from my rainbows, deliciously mango.
So when I first got into this project, I've already was starting to get back into retro gaming a little bit. I mean, originally I got back put on, I was watching this documentary, Kings of Kong, Fistful of Quarters. That was initially what started my buzz getting back into it. And you know, I always entertained the idea of maybe having my own arcade machine, but eventually I ditched that due to how expensive it can get and you know, just being able to move it around and stuff like that. So ultimately I built me a little main gaming machine and I decided to do, I want to go ahead and do a joystick controller to get a more arcade feel. But I started seeing some of the Arcade1Up machines originally when I would go through Walmart and I would just look by and I was like, this is pretty unique, arcade machine. Never really thought nothing of it until I started really looking into building me a little joystick controller. And saw people was actually able to modify them to where you could play lots of games. So the Arcade1Up mod project was pretty much, it was a lot of hit or miss when I got into it. The first hit or miss was when I found me an Arcade1Up machine on eBay. At the time, these was retailing for $2.99. And I found me an Asteroids machine going for $200. I thought I was getting a deal until I found out a couple leaks later that, you know, they decided to drop them down to 75 bucks. So yeah, that was a big old miss. But that wasn't the only one. One thing of advice I would like to say when doing this is if you go about it, make sure you do much research about all you want to incorporate and stuff like that. And then I, you know, went about how I would do the mod, and I watched like many other people, the infamous ETA Prime Arcade1Up modding video. The one I watched was doing it with the Raspberry Pi, which is how I decided to go about doing my Arcade1Up. All right, so I got you back behind the machine here and just showcase a little bit how I have this hooked up. It's not too much really to it. Cable management, you know, I tried to hook it up a little bit, organize it. But as you can see, I have my Raspberry Pi attached to my wood panel base where I had the custom 19-inch Dell monitor installed. This right here is the LCD bracket. A little bit of the bezel from the original monitor I was able to chop, and then I just attached to the back if I ever need to go set some monitor controls. That is done, adhesive sticky tape. And then the Raspberry Pi module I have hooked into basically some Velcro adhesive. It's pretty light. Then you see mounted over here, I have my amplifier, which I got routed in through my volume control knob. Some people may call it overkill and stuff. Then at the bottom here, you'll see I have everything routed into a little power strip. So I had cut the little plug and then I put in some terminal connectors and bought a power switch. Designed, basically general power switch, but this one was designed mostly for arcade machines. So I can power down the Pi, and then all I need to do is come back here and flip a switch, and we're good to go. I wanted to utilize a trackball after trying to play some games like Golden Tee, Galaga, you know, the joystick was not enough. So, you know, like I said, I mentioned, this right here was my original control panel. I ordered third party, 6-button layout. Ended up going with the LED buttons and everything, like most of the other people out there that mod their Arcade1Ups. But then I decided to go in a different direction once I wanted to do the trackball. Looking around on YouTube and, you know, on Instagram, the Arcade1Up hashtag, I was able to find some mods that I kind of wanted to go model after. So I found one that utilized the Pandora 6 control panel. And I decided I wanted to use that because it would also allow me to be able to have room to mount a trackball. All right, so we're gonna go over a little bit. I showcased you the back. Let's go over kind of the front of how the control panel and everything looks. As you see, I decided to throw on a Pandora's Box 6 control panel, which I basically gutted and just put in encoders, and then I put in a trackball. This is a 2-inch trackball you can get from eBay. I'll post a link in all this to the description and stuff. So you know, got your sandwich style joysticks. Then I got little sandwich buttons. These right here, 6-button layouts. These are 30 millimeters, and then for my start and select, I got some 24 millimeter buttons. And that's pretty much it as far as the control panel. And then we get down here, I have my volume control knob, which, you know, you saw the amp on the back. I explained, you know, that might be a little overkill to some, because I can control volume back there as well. But instead of trying to reach back there to control volume, I got a volume control knob, and then I can just, you know, play some music or the gameplay. And this is just the volume, like that. I got two 4-inch speakers right now. They're Boss speakers. I'll go ahead and put a link to that as well. Got those from off eBay. And then I have here, if I ever need to do some command or something, some script or something, I have a little USB hub here where I can plug in my wireless USB keyboard. I can plug the USB in right here, then be able to access and run commands and stuff. Sometimes, you know, these things can get a little more complex than what you originally planned. I also like to mention that I also decided I wanted to modify my monitor, which is another process I would like to talk about, because when I originally got my Arcade1Up Asteroids machine, the monitor was defective. So I ended up having to order another 17-inch Arcade1Up monitor to use, which, you know, worked. But then by that time, after watching more videos, I started seeing people modify them with bigger screens. So I decided I wanted to do that. So again, that was another hit or miss, like I said before. If you want to go into this project, make sure you thoroughly look into things you want to do, what you don't want, so you can be better prepared, so you're not like double spending stuff. So all in all, as I mentioned, you know, a lot of hit or miss. But overall, it was a great experience, you know, going around. It was a nice little project to tackle. Some nice entertainment around the crib to have. I like having the machine. I actually play it more than my other game systems. I got an Xbox One just sitting collecting dust because I don't want to waste time having it update every 2 hours when I want to play a game. This right here, I can just go boot up, get on the controllers, and I'll bang out some NBA Jam or some Mortal Kombat, which I still need to get better at again, because it's been a while since I played. I know I said it throughout this video, make sure you know when you do this project, number one, you know, patience. Make sure you can find a machine, a good deal like you want. Make sure what all you want to utilize and how you want to go about as far as, you know, running your games. I went with the Raspberry Pi module, but there's other methods. Some put full out mini computers in there. Some people actually took PCBs from actual arcade machines and just put it into this smaller scale arcade machine. I want to thank everybody for watching my little showcase video. I want to shout out to Arcade1Up. That's where I got my graphics at. DIY Retro Arcade, where I got my original control panel. eBay, Amazon, where I got some of my joystick buttons and stuff like that. And I want to shout out to the Facebook group. There's a lot of helpful, like this Arcade1Up modding thing is very big throughout the gaming community, especially retro gaming. A lot of these cats out here, this is what they've been doing. So I want to shout out to the Arcade1Up and modding Facebook group. If you ever thinking about going into doing this and modding you up an Arcade1Up machine you may come across, you know, go check that out if you got questions. Like I said, check out the ETA Prime video. That gives you a nice start blueprint. And I'm gonna put links to everything I mentioned or things I got in the machine. I'll mention as well. I talked about that 19-inch modification. I actually shot a full out video discussing that whole process when I first started this mod project. So I'm gonna do a separate video just strictly focusing on that. But this right here was just a general showcase. If you got any questions, leave me a comment. If you had a mod project yourself with an Arcade1Up machine, you want to share your experience with me, go ahead and do that in the comment. Anyway, this your boy Sean. Hope you enjoyed it, and y'all be easy.